What's up guys, Brian with SoCo Customs, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about tire pressures. I've got just a random assortment of keys. I'm going to kind of wing it, chicken wing it, buffalo wing it. It's my favorite food. But I got Shane behind the camera, DJ Shane on the ones and twos, and we're just going to walk the parking lot, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples of door tags and some custom wheels and tire packages and sort of what it all means. So follow along. All right, so we have arrived at a 2017 Chevy Silverado. This is a 3500, so kind of keep that in mind with the tire pressures that it'll say on the door. Basically what they're going to do is from the factory, they're going to pump this thing up to the absolute maximum. So let's say you happen to leave there and put it through the worst day of towing and hauling of its life. You'll be safe to do that. So yeah, they'll pump them straight up to 80 PSI from the factory. What does this door sticker say? All right, so this is going to be your cold tire pressure. Cold is of course relative where you're living at, but here 60 PSI is what you're looking for the front, and 80 PSI is what you're looking for in the rear. So basically what that means is obviously higher in the rear, less in the front. However, these fronts I've already checked and they are at 80 PSI. The camera just wasn't going to pick up the LCD screen in there without flickering and just annoying the heck out of me. So they did just pump everything up to 80 PSI in their pre-shipment inspections and things like that. But it is expecting there to be more weight in the rear, give you a little more buoyancy from that PSI. That's the 3500 for you. Let's move on to our next vehicle. So here's another popular off-road truck that a lot of people are getting to go adventuring. They do load these things down. It is, of course, a light-duty truck. So yeah, let's check this out. All right, so with this one, obviously the cold tire pressure, so basically the coldest day that you're going to get in that season, you're going to pump it up to 30 PSI, both front and rear. Gives you the tire sizes that you're going with from the factory. Usually with these, you're going to get away with more of like a C-load rating. Doesn't have to be the full 10 ply that we're looking for in your bigger trucks. But we'll pop out here, get some context. So obviously what Toyota's looking for here, number one, is to keep just enough air pressure in there. It's going to be a lot lighter, I mean, even unloaded, than your Chevy 3500 that we just looked at. But they're basically telling you what pressure it needs to keep the sidewall integrity and to get you the most even wear across the factory tires. Sometimes if you are overinflating, you'll notice more wear in the center. If you're underinflating, you'll notice more wear on the outsides as the tire kind of does what it does. But factory tires stick to the door sticker, and we'll kind of get to what aftermarket tires kind of look like after this. All right, we're heading over to this Toyota half-ton right here. And it's kind of in the middle of a transition process, so we gotta show this before it's no longer stock. Obviously a half-ton, showed you a 1-ton over there, we showed you a light truck over there. So, all right, right here on the door sticker, again, cold pressure, the coldest day of the season. You're gonna be looking for 30 PSI and then 33 PSI in the rear. Obviously taking those, usually you're doing E-rated tires on these half-tons. So, let's see. Buoyancy that they kind of expect for the average weight, basically being able to, like I said, take this truck away from the dealership and immediately take it up to its heaviest payload that it's rated for. Next up, we're going to head over to my truck. I'm going to give you just a little bit more context on, I guess, how this changes as you get into larger tires, especially on the 3/4 tons. Let's head on over there. So my truck, we'll just kind of pay attention to the door stickers as an example, but I've obviously gone up on some 37 1250s, so a lot more air that can kind of fit in these than the factory tires could. So I'll just kind of run into that context as well. So on these 2500s, it does recommend from the factory that they come at 60 PSI. I know for a fact that when I first got this truck, it was pumped up to 80 PSI. Those will kind of beat you up. Basically, it's just so much air pressure that even the slightest bumps in the road will actually rattle the cab. All right, so to kind of put in context what 80 PSI is going to feel like, especially in these heavy duty trucks, is you kind of see these little, I guess, repaired cracks in the road from the thermal expansion and contraction. This will be felt through the cab, because your shocks are really kind of designed, your shocks and suspension system are really more designed for the bigger hits, so bigger expansion joints and things like that. They won't comply as much to something like that. So you're basically getting all that energy transfer from a very hard tire straight up through the cab. So I'm gonna jump back over to my truck and I'll give you kind of some examples. I have dropped the PSI down to about 45. That's kind of where I like it when I'm not towing or hauling. Of course, anytime I really load down the bed, I'm going to do a lot more PSI, kind of figure that out as I go. But I'm gonna show you a couple of things on this. So what are you going to notice when you do drop the pressure on your tires? I'm obviously not trying to go below door sticker on factory tires, but when you do go with a larger tire, what are you going to notice? So number one, you're going to notice that you're going to get a little bit more small bump compliance. That's because the sidewall of the tire is going to be able to grab a little bit more of that energy. But you will also notice that you might lose a little bit of fuel economy, because you kind of think about it like a locomotive. Why are they so efficient at running across the country, taking large amounts of stuff across the country and only burning gallons of fuel per 100-something miles? And that's because their contact patch is about the size of the rail. So you think about how little energy they're losing every time that rolls around. That's where they're going to get their efficiency. You obviously don't want to run at such a high PSI that you are just wearing out the middle of the tires, running just one little strip a penny wide that you're tearing up. You also want to think about, like, I'm a cyclist. So you think about mountain bike tires versus road bike tires. Your road bike tires are going to be pumped up to about 65, 70 PSI, so that you're losing a lot less energy on the roads. However, the mountain bike tires, since you are running a wider tire, there's more air volume, there's more particles of air in there providing outward force, so it's going to need less pressure to stay buoyant, to stay kind of upright, to keep that integrity of that sidewall. So my mountain bike tires are usually pumped up to about 25 to 30 PSI. 30 is even on the hard side. So there are a couple of options out there where you can decrease the amount of air pressure that will cause the TPMS sensor lights to go on. I've got mine set down to about 35. The option that I used was called the AEV ProCal. There's a ton of options out there, a couple of tuners that might even be able to help you. So you can do the tire chalk test. You can find this tire chalk at any auto parts store. You basically run it across the tread of your tire, and you are going to drive a couple of miles on it. Get up to kind of your normal driving conditions that you're going for, and whatever kind of wears off. If you're only getting wear in the very center of the tire, you've got too much pressure in there. That is one way to sort of test your tire pressure. You can also read forums, kind of what worked for everybody else, and just dial it in for yourself. All right, so there's this week's educational video. I hope it kind of brought some more clarity, or at least gave you the right questions to ask when you're trying to dial in your tire pressure. Obviously, if you are going with a factory tire size, especially if they are the factory tires, you might want to just go off of the door sticker. From the factory, they're using such cheap tires. Once you jump into the aftermarket, you get a little more free reign, but I would definitely say stick as closely to the door sticker unless you are going with an aftermarket size. That's this week's educational bit. I'm Brian, SoCo Customs. We'll talk to you guys later.